I see people get rejected because they believe something that they read on Facebook. I'm Luis, I'm immigration facilitator. Today I'm gonna explain with you 5 lies about Mexican residency that you need to know. Let's start. The first lie is the financial requirements are the same everywhere. You need to understand something. Every Mexican consulate have autonomy. They set their own exchange rate and sometimes add specific requirements. Unfortunately, Mexican consulate have their own discretionality. That decision to put rules in their own criteria is not the same the rate on the north of your country and the south of your country. You need to understand that. My recommendation for you is trying to dive in the Mexican consulate website, official. If you see that information, the most important here is try to see if that information is updated. For example, December 2025, that means that those financial solvencies are required in that Mexican consulate, okay? You need to pay attention to that. But I told you, it's not the same in rates because maybe in the northern are more expensive than the southern, okay? You need to try to divide in different Mexican consulate that you think is more easy for you apply for residency here in my country. The second lie is owning property automatically gets your residency. Property ownership helps, but often doesn't replace economic solvency. The property value threshold is high, often around 40,000 days of minimum wage, equivalent depending on the visa type. Why? Because I saw those kinds of comments in different spaz groups on Facebook. People who they have or they purchase certain real estate. They need to be awareness about the average because 40,000 days minimum wage in Mexican pesos nowadays in 2025 is 5 millones de pesos, 5 million de Mexican pesos, and maybe you need to be awareness in that average. Your real estate show up in that average or not, because it's not automatic. However, you need to follow certain requirements, certain documents that those documents prove that you are the owner about that real estate. And if you buy that real estate on fideicomiso, you need to have certain documents, official documents about that option. The third lie is you don't need consistent bank statements. Consulate look for 6 or 12 months of average monthly balance or consistent income. Speaking your account often lead to rejection. Guys, you need to be careful when you overestimate the Mexican consulate, because if they notice that your bank statements are inconsistent, that small detail reject your procedure on the Mexican consulate. You need to bring the same to up about that average in financial solvency according to your Mexican consulate, but don't overestimate. Lower than the average is directly reject your procedure. Lie number 4. Temporary residency automatically become citizenship. Temporary and permanent residency are separate for naturalization. Citizenship requires years of residency, a Spanish test, and historic exams. It's not automatically. Maybe this is the very interesting confused because I saw those kinds of experience for foreigners who maybe they got married with a Mexican citizenship and they overthinking. When I comes to Mexico, I got my residency. However, that circumstance gave me naturalization. The way it's not working like this. You need to understand that if you don't speak Spanish, you need to focus in that. If you didn't know about the Mexican culture, you need to start study about it. Why? Because Mexican citizenship is not easy. You need to follow certain rules. You need to apply certain requirements. and you need to pass certain exams. And how I told you, you need several years before to apply for citizenship. In addition, when you are permanent, you need to stay 2 years without trip to outside my country, and you don't need to pass the average trip by certain days, because if you overpass it, that circumstance won't give you the opportunity to get your Mexican citizenship. You need to follow a lot of requirements before obtaining it. Temporary and permanent residency is the way, of course, but it's not automatically be a citizenship. Be awareness about that information. The last one lie is the rule won't change. Guys, I told you in my last broadcast, the next year Mexican consulate project new immigration rules. For example, increase the price about immigration fines, increase the minimum wage. Minimum wage means increase the financial solvency. However, I told you in my last broadcast, Mexican government approved a new reform. That reform saying any Mexican consulate need to apply the famous UMA. But that circumstance is not clear. You and me will know about it the next month, when the Mexican consulate update their financial solvency requirements. But please don't set in your mind that the rules never change in Mexico, because that is a lie. Don't believe in those lies. Okay guys, well, that's it in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you know or you fall in those lies, please stop believing that. My recommendation for you is try to seek accurate information. Try to ask your immigration facilitator or immigration lawyer. But the most important here, try to seek information in an accurate official website, or maybe in the Mexican immigration law. I'm Luis. Thank you so much again. Before to go, I'm gonna recommend with you my last broadcast, because in that broadcast I explained with you those new rules about the 2026. Nos vemos pronto. Bye.